Now that we have learned about the three branches of government, it's going to be very important to us to learn how these three branches intermingle between each other and how they balance each other out. Because we know that the framers wanted to achieve some sort of balance between each branch. They did not want one branch to have more power over another in a stronger central government, because they knew that was going to be dangerous. They didn't want to create something that was going to abuse the citizens. They didn't want to create something that they felt Great Britain did to them. Therefore, they're going to create this system, and this system is called checks and balances. The purpose of this system of checks and balances is to prevent one branch from becoming too powerful. And we're going to go over some examples and some ways that the different branches check and balance each other out. First, we're going to go over how each branch checks the power of other branches. So what checks do is they allow one branch to block the actions of another branch. I'm going to give you a couple examples of this. So example one is that we know that Congress has the power to pass laws. But at the same time, the president can check this power that Congress has by vetoing, which also means denying a bill before it becomes a law. The other example that we have of checks would be that the judicial branch can check the actions of the executive and legislative branches by the power of judicial review. So we know that judicial review, the Supreme Court, can declare a law, treaty, or executive action unconstitutional. So if the legislative branch passes a law and it is signed into a bill by the president, the Supreme Court can then pretty much cross that out and say, nope, this law is unconstitutional. The other part of checks and balances is the balancing of power. So when we talk about balancing, we're talking about how each branch allows some role in the actions and power of other branches. So for checks, we learned that they can pretty much stop one another from doing an action. Balances is them having say in the actions. We're going to go over a couple of examples. The first example here is what the president has the power to do. He has the power to nominate his cabinet members. But the Senate has to approve these nominations. So there's that shared power there. The president nominates, but the Senate approves the nominations. It's kind of balancing each other out. Okay, another example is the president has the power to sign treaties, but the Senate must approve them first. So before they actually go into effect, the Senate has to approve them. Another example comes from the judicial branch. The Supreme Court has the power of judicial review, which is declaring laws unconstitutional. But the president and the Senate have a say in who the actual court is. So the president appoints federal judges, and the Senate then approves these appointments by the president. So even though the Supreme Court declares laws unconstitutional, the president has the power to actually appoint the judges, and the Senate approves those appointments. Congress can also impeach a federal judge. So if a judge is acting just not according to the law and they're going against the beliefs and they're kind of acting immorally, Congress can then remove that federal judge. Legislative and executive branches also have some role in the actions of the judicial branch. So they are having say in decisions that they make by either approving something or being able to remove a member of the judicial branch. Balancing the power of the government is one of the most important features in our Constitution, and it's a very unique part of our government that balances the power, the rules, and the laws of our nation. This is an important graphic that you will see probably more than once in your educational career, especially when you learn more about the government in high school. This is also where you're going to fill out page 4 of your flip video notes. This is going to help you with that. So this is a graphic of the three branches, and it gives some examples of how each branch can check and balance each other. So please take some time to pause this video and make sure that you jot this down in your packet.